Hi, welcome to AI Unscripted, and introduce yourself. Who are you, and what do you do?
Hi, my name's Abel. I'm in BuildSpace right now in San Francisco. I'm working on an AI study app.
Great, great. First, what is that AI called StudySets AI, and who is it for?
Yeah, so StudySets AI is an app, a website where you can upload your course materials or just random stuff you want to learn, and it will create an AI study set for it. So an AI study set is like a group of resources with which you can practice. For example, we have flashcards, we have test quizzes, we have summaries, reading comprehension exercises, all that type of stuff.
Oh, that's great. And why did you decide to build StudySets AI? Or it was like a study buddy before, I remember.
Yeah. We used to be called Study Buddy, and because I had a sick domain name, buddy.study, and I was like, hell yeah, let's take this name. But then I quickly realized that it was actually not the best name because there's this thing called SEO, where you're
Mm.
trying to get up into the Google rankings, and Study Buddy is such a super popular term. Um, and it was soon clear to me like, oh yeah, it's gonna take a really long time to get up there. So then I changed. I found StudySets AI to be really easy um, to market, and it was like, yeah, after I think I bought it, and then a week or two later I was like immediately appeared at the top for this specific name. So yeah, way better in that sense.
And did you come with that idea to build space, or was it something different before that?
Yeah, so little backstory maybe. I graduated last summer, and then I wanted to do some stuff. I had a few ideas, and um, this was actually one that I'd been talking with a friend who came up with it, and I was like, okay, I wanna do something. Let me create this AI tutor. And so that's why it was called Study Buddy, because in the beginning it was just a like an AI chatbot that was like good at helping me with math. Um, and yeah, then I started working on that during the summer. I couldn't do any web development. I'd done some mobile development in my during my like university courses, just for myself. But yeah, no actual experience developing any website. And then I just started learning it. I did nights and weekends, which is like a build space program. And then over the coming months, I just got into the building routine where I started building out the project. And then when I finally got into SF2, um,
Hmm.
build space program also, I thought for a while, like, okay, what do I want to do here? And I decided, okay, let's just double down, because I quickly discovered that there was still a whole world to learn of, like, okay, how do you build something and actually distribute it, actually scale it, actually manage to sell it and make money of it. Um, and so I thought, like, oh, this is perfect. Let me just try with this thing that I already have made.
Wow! So this is like your first website that you built like
Yeah,
from scratch.
yeah, like actually deployed website. Actually, yeah, website that works. Yeah,
Wow! And before that, you said that you were building only like apps for smartphones, like
yeah.
Swift
So
apps, or like.
yeah, I used to be like when I was in my undergrad, I had an idea that I did with a friend where I wanted to build an app for waiting lines. It was called Queue, and the idea was like, hey, we don't have to queue anymore. We're just gonna scan QR codes, and then it's gonna put you in a virtual queue, and then you can do whatever you want. You can go to your festival, don't have to wait in line for a drink, all that type of stuff. And that's when I learned mobile development.
Mhm.
Then I also became a mobile developer for a year at some startup in the city of my university. And yeah, I never really dabbled into web development until then, last summer. And it was super clear to me, like, oh yeah, everything in AI is being developed for web right now. Um, And yeah, it took me also a while to go from Firebase, which is more mobile friendly, to now like Superbase, for example, which is more web friendly. um,
Hmm.
and yeah, learned a lot actually in the past 6 months.
Wow, I mean that's quite impressive. It's like in less than a year, you learn how to build a web application, deploy it, and actually, right now, I believe you're already like
I mean,
making money off it, right?
yeah, I did have like I did study computer science though, so I feel like it's not as impressive as some people that actually have never coded in their life and then make a website. I had coded before in like Python, some Java, but yeah, I never made any successful or mediocre web app. Yeah.
I mean, don't sell yourself short. Still pretty impressive. It's like
Yeah,
to
thanks.
be able to like build the whole website. It's pretty cool. So for I'm curious about the study sets. If you can share it, like what tech stack do you have? What apps do you use and tools? If
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
share.
So we use Next.js,
Hmm.
versatile to deploy, Superbase as a backend. As I said before, like I was first using Firebase, but Firebase is super client first, so client side rendering first, um, which for mobile makes a lot of sense because you have an app. But now the whole paradigm of web is shifting to more server side rendering, especially Vercel is trying to push it. So I realized, like, okay, fuck. I'm struggling here with like super basic stuff, implementing super basic stuff. Because I wanted to be server side rendered as well. I didn't want to have my like client side app. So then I switched, I think, in October. So after like a month or two, to Superbase. Superbase is amazing. I recommend everyone who
Hmm.
wants to build on the web to use it. It's really good. Um, so yeah, I use that for a backend, and then I use Tailwind CSS for styling, ShadCN. Also took me a while to use ShadCN actually. First, I was just building my own components, but ShadCN is amazing. Recommend everyone to use it. And then backend wise, um, so first I was doing everything with the Next.js API. Now I also
Hmm.
have a separate API, which is a Python API deployed on Railway, for more complicated stuff. There is some stuff that Next.js API is really bad for, or at least to me, it was like way overcomplicated. It broke all the time. So then I just decided, okay, let's just have two APIs. Main one is Next.js. Second one is Python, where you cannot do all the more complex stuff. So, for example, when a user uploads a document, I know a website or a YouTube video, then it gets scraped using the Python API instead of the Next.js API. Um, for the scraping stuff, I use LangChain. LangChain is, in my opinion, I'm not too big of a fan of LangChain. I think it's quite like they're trying to abstract everything. I really like to be like work more with the basic building blocks because you have more control over it. They try to like
Hmm.
put like silly prompts and like a pre-made agents, and I'm like, no, thank you. But their document loaders are really good, so that's what I use them for. And then I use OpenAI. Just Vercel AI SDK is really good. Right now, my OpenAI credits have expired, so I'm trying to, which is super sad. Suddenly, you have
Well,
to
maybe
profitability and stuff.
yeah, maybe they will hear this and give you some more.
Please, that would be amazing. I have some Azure credits. So Azure has an OpenAI service, but I still need to make time to port that over. The Vercel AI SDK makes it a little easier to change providers. Uh,
Hmm.
and I also kind of want to like check out Claude because Claude is also like I hear so many good things about it. So I might also try that. But for now, it's just OpenAI.
Yeah, I've seen Claude. I played a little bit with it. They have this like the small model that like super fast, and I've seen some people were talking about using that for creating agents that can talk to each other, so they can do like iterative thinking,
Yeah,
and then go to the slower model like to give you like a final model. Uh, so I'm curious because I've seen so many different similar apps. with like different spin-ops. I remember like the very old school is like the Anki, but obviously it doesn't have the AI, but it's like the
Anki
most old
super super
school.
popular. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Going away.
So what is a what differentiates StudySets from other educational tools?
Yes, so yeah, it's really good points because I when I started with this idea, I didn't even realize how many AI study tools there were, and obviously like last year, a shit ton of them like popped off. Um, so like honestly, with any sort of product that I see, if I have an idea that I kind of want to make, if there's an existing competitor, that's not a often that's actually a good thing because it validates like okay, there's a market for it. But for me, there always needs to be a way where I'm like, oh, I want to like I want it differently. Like there are certain things that I don't like about like existing solutions, and then I always am like, okay, no, if I can make something that in my opinion would be better or like different in a way that I just prefer myself, then I feel like it's worth making. Um, and something that I learned really here because here like during my time in SF2 past 10 weeks at BuildSpace is that there is so much abundance. Like markets are huge. Most markets are huge, um,
Mm-hmm.
especially the student market is huge, and you would also be surprised about the inertia that there is in markets. Like a lot of students don't know yet about like most of these tools. If you're
Oh,
building
really?
a tool yourself, you you're like, oh yeah, you know all the competition. You're like, hell, like how is this ever gonna work? There are so many alternatives, and I've been there myself where I'm like, I see like I've now discovered actually solutions like apps that I'm like, oh, this is actually how I envisioned it. Like this is actually something I would use myself. Like really like well done, well designed app, works smoothly. I'm like, oh, this is great. It can be demotivating, but like especially in the last week, I've really realized like just how big of a market, like how big of the market the world actually is, and that even yeah, even if it's a competitive market, you can make something work. Whether it's gonna grow huge, yeah, that obviously depends on a lot of different factors, but you can always make it work in like a mediocre, successful way.
I mean, it's a pretty cool start. I've seen what is like a couple days ago it was blew up, and
Yeah,
you got like
yeah, it was nice.
a lot of page views, and I even seen you reference who this guy's name, Level CEO. I never know how to pronounce
Yeah,
his name
levels I
properly. Level
you
CEO,
retweeted
yeah, yeah,
my
yeah.
tweet. I was like, hell yeah. That was really cool.
Yeah,
Uh,
but it was like interesting. I was like, wow, you could just start converting by doing this simple fix, just not offering the free plan.
yeah, that's for the viewers at home. You don't need a free plan. So quick story for the people that don't know is there was this video of BuildSpace that like Josh is the video editor here made of me. Like they make one of every person here at BuildSpace about what they're doing. And mine started getting a lot of traction. I think right now it's at 770K views, which is a shit ton. And
It's a lot of views.
that's a lot of views, yeah. So it
Yeah.
blew up, and then a lot of people came to the site. A lot of people signed up. A lot of people started using the app. Super cool, like getting a lot of insight of it in it. But my pricing strategy, like, was set up as like free plan, then just basic plan, and then like unlimited plan. Um, and I saw that like no one was paying. I was like, maybe they will pay in a few days. But I knew like, oh shit, this boom is not gonna last forever, obviously. So I thought like, let's not find out and just like gain no actual conversions. So I tried. Okay, a lot of people, perfect for experimenting. So first thing I did was just drop the free plan,
Hmm.
and that were great. Like suddenly people started converting. So just have the landing page, you explain the idea, you show the app, but then if they actually want to use the app, they have to pay. And people started converting. Amazing. Now, what I did before, I decided to drop the free plan because I was a little bit nervous. I was like, "Fuck, I'm gonna just lose all my users here.
Mm-hmm.
No one's gonna use it because if they can't try it, then like a lot of people are like, oh no, I'm not gonna pay for this." Um, so I lowered my prices, like half them, and once I saw like people were paying, I was like, okay, maybe we can just get the prices back up to the original one. So I did that. People kept converting, amazing. Um, then I was talking with Amit, principal here, amazing guy. He gave some feedback, and we're like discussing, okay, different pricing strategies. There's a really successful student says study buddy, also called was partly the reason that I changed from the name study buddy. They work with $1 trials, so you just get $1, you pay it, and then you have like a week access. Super interesting. I haven't tried it myself, um,
Mm-hmm.
but I thought like, okay, let's just first like try free trials, and that's now going on. A lot of people on it, but like now it's like a dead phase right now because suddenly there's no revenue for a few days until the free trials are over.
Mm.
So by tomorrow and this weekend, I'll know whether it's successful. So I'm praying, but it looks pretty good. Like yeah, the number of visitors to the site was actually already like decreasing again from the initial spike.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the number of customers and like people signing up and like going for the free trial kept rising. So I think like ratio wise, it's definitely better to have a free trial right now. Um, so yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Side note: when you slap on the bottom, I think the microphone picks up
Oh
very
shit.
loud. Yeah, yeah. So no problem. So we'll fix it in post production if I can with AI. I'm curious, did you get any chance to speak with some of the customers to see like what was their main reason, like what was the main feature that they came for?
Yeah, the crazy thing to me is like the customers that I've like been interviewing and have like seen using the product are all using like the simplest features in my opinion. So one is like flashcards, which is flashcards are really simple. It's just okay, you have your source material. I'm gonna generate a bunch of questions with answers for it. But that seems to be really popular. I was calling with a girl from Exeter, England yesterday, and she was super hyped about it. And she just all she did was use it for the flashcards, um, and also the summaries a little bit. She said, but mainly flashcards. I was like, okay, well, great, you love it. But yeah, because there are some cooler features in my opinion. But that's really an interesting insight. And then also the summaries. That was what most people, especially when it was still like a free plan, then most people were using summaries, which I don't know why, because it's like Chat GPT, in my opinion. But yeah, seemed to be popular for them.
Mm. And for ChatGPT, do you use like 3.5 turbo or you use 4 version?
Um, Depends on the task. So some tasks, like mathematical stuff, I have one type of practice material that is for mathematics. Um, it just uses LaTeX and like mathematical equation stuff. And there I do use GPT 4 because it requires a
Mm-hmm.
bit more reasoning skills. Um, and then for the other ones, I first also used GPT-4 because I had a lot of credits, but then since that ended, I'm back on 3.5 to make it like sustainable. Because right now, like the most, and that's the nice thing about all AI apps, honestly, and why I'm so bullish on just building a lot of AI products right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like all the prices are gonna drop over the coming years. Like it's just gonna go to virtually zero, and that's something you actually don't have to worry about that much right now. Just make sure you're like not losing money. But yeah, your profit margins are only gonna rise.
Yeah, I've seen OpenAI. They switched from rolling. to like you have to buy credits up front because of
Yeah,
some people ran a lot of credits, had like huge bills, and they're like, oh my god.
and then didn't
It's
pay.
like, well, I don't know if you can pay 100K, like, but yeah, there's this. I think I've seen one. I think like a ridiculous number is like, oh my god, like this is bad.
Damn.
So yeah, be
I,
careful.
yeah.
Yeah. So um, I'm curious, where do you want to take study sets? Like, do you want to still working on? Do you said that you excited about like bunch of other apps? Is there anything else you want to build maybe with AI?
Yeah, I'm super hyped on just building a lot of like AI products. Like what I did, for example, like now during the past 10 weeks, I got distracted about a few times, but two major times where I just built like another app. So first one was an AI lecture notes app where you just can record like your lecture. Like if you're listening to someone, this conversations, for example, you could press record, it would record it and then take notes for you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can always edit the notes in like a nice Notion style editor. So that was like one little small product that I made. And then I also made an AIFinancePrep.com, it's called. It's a website where like finance majors that are preparing for investment banking
Okay.
interviews, that type of stuff. Um, yeah, where they can practice and like you upload your resume and then it asks you questions about it or like technical ones as well. And then you can answer and it reviews your answers, that kind of stuff. It was all like quite similar. So that's the nice thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
once you get your tech stack right and once you know how to use it, it's really easy to iterate and get new ideas and really push out something quickly. Because those two apps that I just talked about, it's maybe like one week each. So to come back to your question,
Mm-hmm.
StudySets AI, I'm probably just gonna try to automate as much as possible, keep it on the back burner. Still have like support and implement feature requests from actual customers. Um, but then I also like I feel like I've gotten quite good over the past 6 months at building these things. So I
Mm-hmm.
just want to start building like new projects, like explore a little more, at least for the coming month. Then we'll see whether we can do something big again. Yeah,
Yeah, you have some ideas that you want to work on, something interesting.
I've been brainstorming with Mattia, another guy from SF2, amazing guy, and we want to work on some stuff, mainly like generative UI. Um, there's
Generative
also
AI.
yeah, generative UI is like a pretty interesting topic, and see where we
Is it
can.
like
Mhm.
is it like V0 that Vercel has, like generating components type of thing?
It's more like where you have a chat, for example, like a chatbot,
Mm-hmm.
and instead of text, because now all responses are text, right? And at least for me, I always ask it to put it in bullet points because that's for me very easy to read. Um, but even then, like a lot of information, like it's just not text native, or it takes a while. It's not easy to consume. Um, so one thing you see right now is that Vercel at least also is pushing that to have more um, generative UI in your chat. So, for example, the example that they gave is like, give me the stock price of Dogecoin, and
Yeah.
then you get like a nice little graph. So you might do something with that. Um, Personally, agents seem also super interesting to me. I've been wanting
Mm-hmm.
to make like an SEO agent or like a marketing agent, where you know, like I'm a coder. I don't like doing marketing, but it's a necessary evil. That's also what I learned here. Like it's all about distribution. Like it's all about okay, how do you find like whatever product you're working on, even if you think like oh this is super shitty right now, this is like
Mm-hmm.
because people, especially developers, often have like high standards. Um, there's always people around in the world that would already want to use it. Often, you just gotta find them. And I know I just don't really like marketing myself. I don't like making TikToks and making Reddit posts and and thinking about SEO, but it needs to happen. So I've been thinking about automating that. There's already a bunch of existing solutions though, so I'm gonna see
Hmm.
whether I can like actually find something that I'm like, oh yeah, this is a missing part, or I could contribute.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Another question about the process of building StudySets AI. Like, how do you go about? Do you have like a set 4 hour window, or do you just something come up and you start coding away?
Oh, you mean like routine wise?
Yeah, yeah. Do you like wait for a muse to come, or do you like like sit down and code something and wait for like inspiration to come? Like,
Mm,
what is your process?
yeah. Um, so one thing that's really good and that I would like suggest everyone to do is just find a workspace that is not your home. That's not the place where you sleep, or live.
Hmm.
Just to come back to, that's like the basic, the most base, like the most fundamental part of the routine. Like just get to a place and you have to go there and then you do some work. Um, I don't really have a very rigid routine. I've tried to, but I find it difficult um, to adhere to it. Um, so yeah, mostly I come here in the morning, do some work. Especially in the mornings, it's nicer because there's not a lot of people. Um, then around noon, it gets chaotic. Sometimes if I've been here for a long time, I notice that um, my focus tends to drop. Like my ability to focus in this environment is just not as good as it was in the beginning. And then I just need a change of environment. And so you've got this coffee chain here, Phil's Coffee, really good coffee place. I go to there then, um, and that helps, especially in the busy hours, to get some work done.
Hmm.
Mm. But yeah, I um I tend to code every day. Try to code every day. I should do marketing every day, but I definitely don't do it.
Yeah, that was another question. Like,
Yeah,
when do you do marketing? Do you like do afterwards or in between, or maybe like
yeah,
because that sounds like a chore for you?
yeah. Yeah, you really gotta be hard on yourself. Where you're like, okay, today we're gonna do marketing, and the important thing is like nothing else. Because when I allow myself to do development, I'm like, oh yeah, today's marketing day. I just need to fix this bug first, or I just need like, yeah, I can start making videos, but I just need this one update, and then I can. What happens? Like I've done it like multiple times here, like almost, yeah, probably more than like 10 days here, where I've been like, okay, yeah, today's marketing day, and then I start coding on something, and then just suddenly half the day is gone because you found like another issue and another rabbit hole, and
Hmm.
so that's dangerous. So
So,
yeah.
yeah. So, what type of marketing did you find working for your specific product?
um so a big revelation for me here in SF2 um is definitely TikTok. um
Really?
yeah, because before I don't use TikTok myself. I like, it's a waste of time. It's like this thing where it sucks your attention and you just like, and they have good algorithms. They there's definitely quality content on there. um but for me, yeah, it's way too distractive, so I didn't really use it. um and when I arrived here, there's this other team in SF2, Declan and Derek, amazing guys as well, and they're also they have a product called Jotbot, which is like an AI document editor, and
Hmm.
they blew up before BuildSpace already. And that was because of TikTok. I just made a lot of TikToks. Some went super viral. Um, and first, like, thing when I arrived here and I was chatting with them, like Declan was like, "Yo, like TikTok is where it's at." And that was a big revelation for me because I didn't know. Like, I realized like, oh yeah, I need to do some marketing. I probably should post on TikTok, but I hadn't done it before. And yeah, then you learn all those things about, okay, wow, like this actually works, because I think TikTok is the nice thing about it is every video gets given a chance. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Instagram is way more follower based. Like it's I think Instagram overall is like more quality views. I don't really believe the TikTok view counts. Like it's often like super high view counts, and I'm like, I'm very suspicious of it. Um, Instagram, I tend to trust a little bit more, because I never see like, or you see those crazy view counts less. Um, but Instagram takes a while, so you really need to be rigorous with that, which honestly I haven't done. But I think if you actually want to have like a success on Instagram, you definitely, it's a long game. Whilst TikTok is just make a video, it almost gets at least like 200, 300 views. They always give it to 200, 300 people just to check, like, yo, is this like anything special? If it's actually good,
Mm-hmm.
serve it to more. That is actually good. Like, they show you the analytics, and there it's pretty clear, like, okay, if the watch time is longer, your video is going to get way more views, because that's what they're optimizing for, I guess. So if you're starting out, I would advise, and you're building a consumer product, um,
Mm-hmm.
then yeah, TikTok is probably where it's at if you want to get some rapid success.
Did you try any other channels like Hacker News or Reddit? Like
I've tried Reddit.
more AI
um,
stuff. Yeah.
oh yeah, also good, yeah, because in the beginning I was super stupid. I was like, people told me like, yeah, like like market on Reddit, market on Discord, um, but I was like honest about it. I was like, hey, I made this app. Do you want to try it? And for people that don't know, what happens is like instant ban, because everyone
Yeah.
tries,
Oh, yeah.
everyone knows it. So you immediately get banned out of all these out of all these groups. Um, so the way to go at it is, to not be as honest and just say like, find, like, this is what I found to be to work the best. Find people that ask questions where you're like, you can honestly like answer like, oh yeah, hey, check out this product, this really was useful for me, or this could really help you, and then people actually react like, oh my god, thank you, this is great, this is like, where has this been? And that's like really good reactions. I feel like that works really well with Discord. um, Obviously you gotta watch out that you don't spam it to every comment, like, because then you're also gonna get banned. People see. But
Mm-hmm.
if you act like a normal person would, then it actually might get you some traffic, especially in the beginning. Are you gonna go viral from Discord things? Not really, but in the beginning, that's also something that I learned in the beginning, is just try to get those first users, like whatever
Mm-hmm.
it costs. And actually, something that I also like would use next time, if I'm launching a product, is sell in the beginning maybe like a lifetime subscription for like really cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's going to happen is people are going to be like, oh, this seems like a deal. um, they're going to buy it, and once people pay you money for it, they will they will care at least a little bit, because they paid money for this, so they actually want it to be good. And if you gave them a lifetime subscription, people will be like, oh shit, if this becomes valuable, then it's like, I can use this for free. Nice. um, and so yeah, in the beginning you're not optimizing for getting more money, you're just getting like optimizing for, okay, can I find people that actually care and that can
Mm-hmm.
actually give me feedback, and not just say like, oh yeah, looks cool, um, that type of stuff.
Interesting. Interesting. It's yeah, realizing listening to you, it's like for Discord you need much more surgical approach, and you can just like blast it, but it's more for like your first customer, right? So
Yeah, yeah, if you have like a
don't.
really niche product, then that's probably what you want to go for. um, and yeah, just don't be like, hey, can you buy my product?
Yeah, shameless self promotion.
Yeah, it's self promotion that doesn't work.
So This is like twofold question. So, what are some other creative ideas that you have or considered for like one marketing, and second is like maybe for like some cool projects that you think AI like the craziest that you have thought about. Like, I want to go like off the roof, you know.
Interesting. I don't know whether I have crazy ideas for marketing or for
Well,
um,
do let's first like do marketing 'cause while we're talking about. But I'm curious since like all the AI stuff, like I've seen Sora coming in. OpenAI had something about voice, so if you maybe looked into it, maybe you have something interesting to
yeah,
share.
yeah. So marketing is going to get crazy. There's one product that I've actually maybe wanted to make my own version of, which is like AI UGC. For the people that don't know at home, like I didn't know what UGC was. UGC stands for user generated content.
Okay.
That is where you pay people for making content for you. So it's sort of micro influencers, but it's not like an influencer is someone that has their own page, their own brand. You uh, pay them or give them an affiliate link, and then they will promote your product for you. UGC is more like you find these actors almost, you pay them money, and they will make content about your product, often on like new pages. So, for example, um, TikTok, you get some UGC creators, you pay them per video, per view, whatever, and then they create these videos on their accounts. Really popular, like Dante is a guy here in SF2. Um, he built this color theory app, pretty cool. Should check it out. And he like blew up like really significantly because of UGC. So he made this app, and then he paid a bunch of UGC creators to just start making content. And then once the ball gets rolling, you have this amazing loop of okay, some videos pop off, great, users come to your site, convert, you have money, I'd put it back into the machine. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, the thing that you want is you like the only difficult thing is you need to make sure that there's enough value that you can capture so that it's profitable, that you don't lose money because UGC is quite expensive.
Hmm.
But to get to the crazy part, there is this thing called AI UGC, which is just you have actors. Um, so let's say you get some creator, you make a bunch of clips of them, and you train
Mm-hmm.
a lip sync model on them,
Hmm.
and then you just choose a clip of this creator and you type out your script. I'm actually gonna do this and try to experiment whether it works, or whether we can actually be successful. Because I saw one clip on Twitter like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and it was the first time that I like, holy shit! I I showed it to multiple people here at BuildSpace. Everyone is like, damn, I didn't realize this was AI. Like I showed it them, like let them watch like 10, 15 seconds of like a 60-second clip, and like they were like, what the fuck is up with this clip? And then you tell them, oh, it's AI, and then they're like, holy shit. Um,
Hmm.
the thing is, it's good because it's based on real video clips, and they let the actors be really expressive with their facial expressions, and then they just
Mm-hmm.
change the lips and they let and the voice in any language, by the way, which is amazing.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool.
So you can have like a one ad. I mean, you might probably do it with your podcast where you just change your voices into Spanish, whatever, and then you can suddenly reach a whole like new market that doesn't speak English, which is super powerful. Uh, and anyways, like AI UGC is gonna become a thing. Um, so that's one really big thing that's gonna get really big in the coming year probably because lip syncing is getting so good that like we're super fucked. Like society is gonna go through a change where we're not gonna look at videos the same anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's like yeah, like now already, right? If you would see a picture of something crazy, you would know like okay, it's probably photoshopped. Um, Video, we're getting there. We're like after a while, you just have to assume like, oh yeah, it's a video. It's not necessarily real. It's probably not real.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, we're gonna get there, and I think like some people are like super afraid of that. I personally am like I accept it. Like I'm quite accepting of all change. Like there's no other way to deal with it, and people are gonna deal with it. But there's gonna be this weird phase where people don't realize it yet, what is possible, and we're entering that phase in the coming year. I think where all these lip sync models, all these deep fakes are gonna get super good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that will be weird. But one thing you're gonna see is, so you're gonna see a lot of um, AI UGC, so people like promoting clips or what, promoting products or whatever, or talking about stuff um, that never actually really said those things. They may be real people
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning. After a while, it may also be just completely people that never existed before. But they will be talking in a really engaging way and be selling it in like a semi-authentic way. So that's going to become really big.
Yeah.
Um, and then you have another type of AI generated content, which yeah, that's what I was gonna say before the camera dropped off. Uh, like Arab, do you know Arab from BuildSpace?
No.
He did like Musicfy. He's now doing another company which is like called Creo, and that's more um, like those stupid clips with like a Subway Surfer and like Family Guy. You know, those really like I don't like these videos, but they're really prevalent on these social media platforms where you have like different or like Minecraft plays with like a voiceover.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, like that type of content, like really low quality content.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's also getting automated. So that means, yeah, people will be able to push out like thousands of hours of
Mm-hmm.
just content, push it to social media to get more traffic to their whatever they want to promote. Um, I don't think that's a good thing. But honestly, my view of social media in general is that there are a lot of bad things about social media. So I wouldn't say
Yeah.
social media, like I wouldn't say TikTok is a net positive on society. Like definitely not. Um, but then again, there's good quality on there as well. Like there's
Mm-hmm.
good quality content creators. Um, but yeah, the sad part is that it's not all good content.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're definitely like 100% certain you're gonna see a rise in that in those types of content.
Yeah, I'm
Uh,
excited about like the type that you described, where for example, like from Netflix, where you can watch a translated movie, but like the lip sync and everything looks and watches like smoothly. And I think one of the guys from Build Space, I don't know if the same that you mentioned, that has like showed Lex Friedman clips speaking like
yeah,
Farsi and
Paris.
Spanish.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was pretty impressed. I was like, oh my god,
yeah,
if you can
yeah,
have that and like translate any movie into any language, I'm like, how crazy it is. And you have proper, because sometimes I hear like when the like American movies, and they have like a foreign actor, no, American playing a foreign actor, but I know the language and I hear them talk, and I'm like, oh my god, like he just said nonsense. That means nothing. Like this is
yeah,
complete bullshit. But with this, at least, like now they can actually make gonna make it like sound good. And I think I've seen. I don't know if it's OpenAI or some other company, they were doing specifically the voice and the translation. Like you can take your voice speaking English and then make it speak other languages, and for some languages it was pretty good. Like I
yeah,
heard it was speaking Russian and it was actually like fairly good. And some other languages, German, I mean, I don't know German that much, but it was also like sounding very Germanic, etc. So yeah, another thing I just wanted to say because you said it's like, or there's gonna be like a lot of a lot of like low quality content. But what I'm excited is actually it's probably create more demand for like authentic, like having actual people talking, and
Mm,
people will be fatigued from those type of like just bunch of random stuff unless it
yeah.
become really good that you cannot tell. Then yeah, maybe.
Mhm. I think also, like, even if it's really good, like a certain types of content where it's AI,
Hmm.
like it will lose value quickly. Yeah, like like the UGC, for example. Once people realize, like, oh yeah, this person is probably not real, yeah, the value immediately drops. So I wonder, yeah, what kind of content things are gonna become more popular. Like one-on-one conversations could be cool.
Hmm.
Like podcasts have been rising for the past 10 years, probably. So that's gone really popular. For short content, I have no idea. But yeah, like I really believe in like the force that AI is just gonna enable everyone to become like a creative. As in, everyone will become a musician, everyone can become a filmmaker, and the the time and effort required to go from idea to like realization will become like really small.
Hmm.
You'll really be able to say like, okay, change this shot in this way, or this shot doesn't feel like, even just your like expressing your feeling about something. Like I've noticed with ChatGPT, you can be really vague in your instructions, and it often gets it in like quite a good way, where it knows what you mean even when you're not really able to pronounce it yourself. um, So I guess that the next Steven Spielberg will be like just the kid with the biggest, like craziest imagination, um, and they'll be able to make it for, yeah, a few dollars maybe in
Hmm.
in computer costs, which will be crazy,
That'd be
but
great.
also super. I'm personally I'm most hyped about gaming.
Gaming, okay.
I yeah I think like just entertainment in general will be like series and stuff, like series quality type of storytelling and visuals, but
S-
mixed with the interactivity of like gaming, so they actually have like an effect on the world.
you said city, or what do you mean, like
Series, sorry.
oh, series? Okay, okay.
Series.
Oh, I see, I see. Yeah, yeah. That'd be cool. Yeah, I can't actually. I've seen some implementation. Like I mentioned that people were use like the characters you can interact with in the game. That was kind of cool way to
Yeah.
implement it. So yeah. So like right now, what is your favorite AI tool? Because there are like so many. I don't know. Do you use ChatGPT a lot? Like, do you use voice? Maybe do you like do because they have also DALI inside. They have a bunch of like custom GPTs, and maybe even like for programming. Like, do you use anything, or you just
Yeah.
code
Yeah,
yourself
yeah,
and
yeah. Like my number one AI tool is like 100% Cursor. Like Cursor is like,
cursor?
it's amazing.
Is it the
uh
IDE?
Yeah, it's the IDE. It's really good. It's better than Copilot in my opinion. But
Really?
honestly, since I've started using Cursor, I haven't given Copilot a fair try anymore. So maybe it's gotten better. Um, but yeah, when I used it, like I discovered it back in August, I think,
Hmm.
and I think like Cursor is probably like more than half of the reason that I could iterate so fast, or that I've been able to become like this good at web development in just 6 months.
Wow.
Um, is like you just have this chat, and you just can say like, yo, how does this work, how does that work. um like AI is like making everyone a 10x developer
Hmm.
in like a really short time, so that's really 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 powerful. And Cursor is just, they do it really well. They have their custom models right now, which is like Cursor fat, so you can choose like GPT-4, GPT 3.5, or Cursor Fast, they call it. And
Hmm.
the nice thing about Cursor Fast, it's worse than GPT-4. So like when you ask it to generate code, it's often like, but for small changes, it's amazing. You just select something, say like, "Yo, make it like this." In a few seconds, it's done, and yeah, it's really my favorite tool by far.
So you don't use
My
Visual Studio anymore?
it's a VS Code fork, so I technically I use VS Code, but I just use Cursor. Yeah,
And can you do like all the plugins from VS Code? Is doesn't it? Oh, it
yeah,
does have all that stuff.
it does have all that stuff. Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
really it's super good. Yeah,
Okay, maybe I'll give it a
like
try because I've seen it and then I was like, another ID. I was like, God damn it.
I get it. I get it. Like I have so many people here. Like a lot of developers also are too proud for it. They're like, nah, nah, nah. I prefer, I need to understand what I'm doing, which I get that point. But like in my opinion, it's like, yo, this is only going to get better. This is not going away. This is the future of how coders are gonna like work. Um, so I would like definitely like advise to to download it, and it's gonna make you, yeah, you're gonna fall in love with it. It's really good. It's
Yeah,
really good.
I'll give it a
If you
try.
enjoy it.
Do you use AI besides your work in like your daily life? Like, do you like talk to it maybe, or like do something else with it, or it just strictly work?
I had a time where I was like when GPT-4 like the voice interaction came out. The app when it got like the voice interaction, I was like, hell yeah! I've waited, like you saw it coming and it was finally there, and I was like, oh, awesome. And I remember just walking um, through a city just with like AirPods in and just talking about random topics that I was learning about physics. I was like, yo, tell me about this topic, explain it to me. Um, it's still not perfect. Like the interruptions are horrible. Like when you're explaining and then you take a break.
Mm-hmm.
Like what I now, like if I like pause for a few seconds, ChatGPT would immediately be like, no, let me answer this question, and I'm like, no, 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 I'm not finished. But since then, I've actually haven't been using it that much. Um, yeah, I don't really use it that much more in my daily life. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, I chat GPT random things if I want to learn about things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I'm not really like just for fun. Are there things that you use for fun?
I mean, I do use voice a lot, and to go around that part, I just there's like if you press the button and hold it, it will not interrupt until you like let go. So they added that part, and sometimes I try to learn some Spanish, so it's pretty cool because it's can understand me in any language, like in my. It even speaks Ukrainian, which is fun. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, I cannot believe that you can actually talk. I was super excited. I even showed my parents. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is magic. And it's very fluent. It can like jump around. So it's pretty cool. And I did use it a lot to like fix stuff around the house. I would like take picture and it was like, okay, well, how do I fix this? Like, fire extinguisher thing, like or whatever, like that type of thing. So yeah, but mostly it's like the same, like asking it to Google stuff, asking it to explain things, talking to it, and
Yeah, Perplexity is really good as well. I just popped into my mind for search. Yeah,
yeah, perplexity that they have. I like their like like summarization or whatever, and they probably a good example of you mentioned early the UI like
generative UI.
generative UI, yeah, because they kind of create for different like they add you videos or like articles and place it around
Yeah,
whatever you need, depends on the content. So another question is like getting closer to the end, like, and you already mentioned some lessons from BuildSpace, but what do you learn from like the biggest lesson that you're implementing from BuildSpace? Like, what was like the aha moment, and then you implement it was like mind changing. It's like give you great result.
Hmm. That's a good question. Yeah, I've been thinking about it today as well. Because tomorrow is like demo day,
Oh,
and
congrats!
that's one of the that's one of the questions they also ask, like, what's your biggest learning? Um, like the thing that I'm surprised to, like, except for all the like the basics of like, distribution, analytics, all that kind of stuff. Because I learned a lot of like fundamental basics that are like obvious, but I just never done before. Um, like like my biggest learning or discovery, I would say, is that how big uh, markets are. So how like if you have a product, even if there's already existing solutions for it, um, you'd be surprised of like the amount of people that still can be helped by you. Um, yeah, but I need to iterate on that learning. I'm still meditating on it.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Well, you still
I'll
have
let you
a,
know first.
yeah. You we can add it later. Maybe next episode with your next product.
Yeah, yeah, I'm excited for that, man. I'm really excited to just start building like building random stuff for like a week straight. It's gonna be fun.
So closing everything, what where people can find you, and if you want to plug in your study sets and anything else you want to plug in, because you mentioned so many other interesting
Yeah,
projects,
yeah,
if they are alive and deployed, yeah, you can plug it in here.
yeah. So, StudySets AI. That's the main project I've worked on for the past months. Check that out if you're a student. Really nice. And then yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. My handle is like Avan Steenweghen. It's really long. I should change it. It's just
We'll drop it here, yeah.
yeah, it's my last name, which is Dutch, so it's yeah, it's not really easily spellable. So yeah, you can follow me there on Twitter. My website is able.so. That's shorter. Right now it just says like, yo, I'm working on StudySets AI, but for the next project, they will all come on there as well. So there you can follow a little.
Okay, yeah. Again, thank you for joining me for my second in-person episode, or
It was nice.
live
Thank you
live
for
person episode.
that.
Yeah, I really
Yeah, yeah,
appreciate
yeah. It
you.
was great.
Yeah. So yeah, everyone subscribe, like, and check out StudySets AI. Bye.
Awesome. Yeah.